Hey everyone, so in this video we're going to be putting this onto there. So this is the long awaited for carbon boot lid from Carbonzilla in the UK, and it's going to be replacing the Garage FE fiberglass boot lid from the guys in Finland. I'm hoping this video isn't going to be super long-winded like the last video when I fitted the carbon interior from Rallytech, which took about 27 years. I'm hoping this is a quick video to do. The only things I can foresee as being a problem are the aerocatches, which were a bit of a pain in the arse on this boot lid. But anyway, we will see how we get on with it. So the first thing we need to do is take off the stock boot lid and then give the carbon one a test fit, shall we? Okay, so there we go. That is the boot lid mounted up, just resting on the car. And fitment wise, I think it's okay. Similar sort of gap each side, doesn't look too bad, but the height is not right. So if you look, you can just see that it's recessed with the lights and it doesn't kind of line up with the silver body of the car with the bottom of the lights. So I'm going to have to fit the factory rubber, which I've got down there, if you can see. I'm going to have to fit them so they're obviously adjustable, so you can then kind of raise or lower the panel and get it into the right position. So first things first will be to do that. I'll probably also get the holes drilled out for the number plate lights, but I'll do that a little bit off camera. But yeah, let us get hopefully the rubber in place so that the boot lid can sit at the right height. Then when we've done that, then we can start having a look at how the aerocatches might fit. Okay, holes made, all looking nice and neat and tidy. I fitted the little rubber feet on the edges there, which is just a case of kind of pressing it into place, bit of brute force, and then using like a very small flathead screwdriver just to tease the rubber in and kind of just work it in. And they're kind of sat nicely now. Might glue them in if I'm going to be keeping them. We will wait and see. Problem though already, first problem, hopefully not many problems with this install, but our nice little rubber feet here, this one here I'm on about. Problem is, on the car, on the original item, it's metal and it's 1mm thick. But you can see here with the fiberglass, it's like 4 or 5mm thick. So it won't actually go into the fiberglass and turn, because the whole point of these is that you basically turn them one way or another to basically raise them or lower them. Can't do that. So what I've done is I've cut 2 down to size. This is pretty much the size I need. And now I'm going to just get some epoxy and bond them onto the boot lid, and then we'll get it on the car and see how it fits.
Day 2.
Okay, 1 day later, and our epoxy is now set and our rubber is looking okay there at each side, and you'll see in a moment that it's kind of sitting with the right height. But I found last night Schiedman, which is a BMW dealer here in Sweden. They sell BMW slam stops, bonnet slam stops, bonnet height adjusters. The rubber kind of adjuster part sits within a circular housing, and I thought that's a really neat solution because it's like I've got on the Spider, but obviously I don't use the Spider parts because they're like gold dust. So I've ordered 2 of those from Schiedman, and if they come in time, we might replace these rubber ones and fit them. If they don't come in time, then I'll do that at a later date, but just to let you know that this solution, probably good enough, but probably won't stay. Anyway, now that that's done, we can get on to problem number 2. So, problem number 2 is that although the fitment is kind of as decent as you're going to get with composite parts, I mean, it's never ever going to be perfect. Because of like the way things cure in a mould and what have you and twist. But our height is now looking pretty good, both sides. Kind of happy with that. But top is kind of in line with the lights, headlights, tail lights, but the bottom is way out. It's like a little finger you can get in there. I mean, that ain't acceptable. Not for me anyway, probably not for most people. So need to sort that. So what I'm going to do is remove the bolts here for the hinges on the parcel shelf of the car, which is the best way to do adjustments of the boot lid. I'm going to remove those, going to drill them out, and then we'll come back after a sponge bob, because I'm not going to video myself doing that, with the holes drilled, and hopefully get bolts back in and get it pushed back inwards towards the body of the car and sort of take a look at the fit, I hope.
A few inches later.
Right, so slight change of plan to what I was going to do. So the idea was to make these holes go further back into the cabin of the car, so that I can mount the hinges further back and do it that way, but I just honestly couldn't be arsed with trying to stop metal dust and things getting onto the carbon and into the back seats. Now I've done all the interior, so I decided to do the boot lid end instead. So here are the hinges. I've also given them a quick paint as well, but you can see what I've done here. So these are now like 23 millimeters long. I've extended them, not tested them, but before I fit them up, because the paint's drying, I thought good idea would be to get the other holes made in the boot lid for not the spoiler yet or the aero catches, but for the wiring and for the number plate and number plate lights. So let's get that done. Okay, so that's everything sort of tidied, all the holes drilled. I've not sort of put paint around these edges yet. I will do that like I've done here and there for the wiring, because I just want to make sure that everything's final first before I do that. But that's all good, and obviously number plate lamps are in. I'm an idiot and I fitted different number plate lights for the other boot lid because these wouldn't work. So I cut the wires like a fool. So I'm gonna have to resolder the wiring on. So that's the job that I will do off camera. But now that is done, if we wander round to the back of the car, the hinges are on and in position. So next job now is to get the boot lid on the car, get it fitted up okay, and kind of get it in its final spot. And then once we've done that, we will get the wiring into place so I can work out what I need to do with the number plate lights. And then when that is all done, then it's onto the spoiler, I think we will have a look at before we do the aero catches. So let's get the boot lid on the car and in position. So there we go. That is boot lid mounted up, kind of all looking all right here. Number plate lights all okay. Got our little stay here in place. I have in the cave down there, I've sorted out the wiring for the number plate lights. That all works now. Kind of refitted all those things. You cannot see what's going on there, but things are going on there. You have to trust me. So now we've done that, the next thing to do, I think, is going to be the part I'm dreading, which is the aero catches. So I'm going to have a little go without filming just to see if I can find a solution that's going to work, and then I will show you the solution and then we'll implement the solution. I'm not doing the spoiler first because I'm kind of slightly in two minds. It's like I don't want to put holes in the boot lid and then not be able to go back if I decide that I might want a GT wing rather than the Evo 6 and Boss spoiler. So I'll be debating that while doing other stuff. So I'll go off now and have a think about what to do with these aero catches, and then come back after a SpongeBob, hopefully with me happy with a nice solution that we can then implement.
12 seconds later.
Okay, I've sussed it and it's not what you think, the solution that I come up with. So basically, here are the aero catches and all the gubbins that kind of goes with it. And here is the original barrel and kind of locking mechanism, and the latch is down there on the floor. I was just mucking about with it. I jokingly decided yesterday while I was in the boot with the boot shut with my torch on, trying to see how to fit the pins and realising that it's not that easy a job. I jokingly said to myself, if the key for the car fits the original barrel lock, which they never do, like it doesn't on the black car, then I'm going to fit the original barrel lock basically. So trotted off to my little storage unit, and the key worked. So I thought, okay, so I kind of backed myself into a corner now. So I thought, all right, I'll weigh everything up at least, and then that'll kind of give me the logic that, okay, aero catches are lighter, it's better, etc, etc. So I weighed them, and in actual fact, the aero catches with the pins and with the bracketry that I'd need to mount it up is about 40 grams heavier than the original lock. So in actual fact, what I'm going to do is I'm going to fit the original lock rather than aero catches on the back, because if we wander around to the back of the car, we have our little hole kind of here, our little recess that we can use, and it shouldn't be difficult to do, and I think it's going to look neater. And also, if I do this, then I can always convert to aero catches later, because I always intended to kind of cut out where the lock was anyway, because it's a mess having that little recess there. So that is my plan. That is what we will now do. I've marked everything up so I know what I'm doing, but yeah, we'll do that, get it on. What I'm going to do, just to kind of make it more complete and stealthy, is I'm going to do what the guy did on the black Evo. Can see here is he painted the lock satin black, so I'm going to paint the barrel satin black, and then we should be done for that part. So boot lid off, and then let us kind of crack on with getting the barrel and the lock in place. Okay, that's everything kind of in place and plugged in. In hindsight, I should have made a template from the old boot lid for the barrel rather than kind of using guesswork, because it's not perfect shape. It's held in place perfectly well. But yeah, lesson learned. Anyway, I should have done that. I was just busy kind of trying to just get on, because these things take so long these days for some reason. But yeah, let's get it on the car now. I'm not going to bolt it down. I'm just going to test it and see that the lock works. And when we know that works, then I'm going to take it off. I'm going to paint the barrel. I'm not going to video that. And I'm not going to video me making holes for the wing, because that's pretty straightforward. So we'll join the action once we've done the test fit with, after a SpongeBob, of course, as I say, with hopefully everything ready to kind of go on the car and secure down properly.
Thousands of tears later.
Okay, we're back after our test fit and all looked okay. I think you'd agree. It's shut, the lock worked and everything, but I wasn't very happy with the lock barrel, with the paint and stuff, and with the fit of the lock barrel itself. But I work in the gambling industry. Top tip, as we always say in the gambling industry, never gamble, because the house always wins. And I keep making the same mistake, not always, but a lot of times, where I think, oh, I'm not quite happy with that, I'll just adjust it, I'll just tweak it, and then I do it, and then I ruin it, and I get pissed off, and then I have to do something else. And that, surprise, surprise, has happened again with this. So, no boot lid, if you're observant. We now have some aero catch brackets fitted to the car, which is a hint as to what I have done. We also have a wing that's satin black, not gloss. Miscommunication between Swedish and English, so that is going to go back to Daniel after this video to get lacquered, clear coated, and then that will go on and life will be good. So yeah, so what have I done? Well, like I say, I wasn't happy with the lock mechanism and the fact that the paint obviously cracked when you turned the key in the barrel and kind of chipped where the key went in. So it's like, don't like that. But I also kind of, like I say, I didn't like how the actual barrel was sat in the boot lid. So I filled it in with 2-part epoxy to drill it out again and make a better fit of a hole. But kind of got it wrong because the epoxy didn't dry clear, it dried milky. Which it does sometimes. Probably someone will tell me why that is, but yeah, it dried milky. You could see it, it looked a mess. So I thought, fuck it, aerocatches. So here is our boot lid with some nice big aerocatch holes. There we go. Didn't film any of this, of course, because I was crying all the time I was doing it, but also I thought, well, if you've seen one video of me fitting aerocatches, you've seen them all, and I have done a few now of fitting aerocatches onto various cars, including the boot lid, the fiberglass boot lid on the Evo. So no point filming it, and it was a painful time in my life. But we are now done. It's all painted. We're ready to kind of build everything back up, get it on the car, and this is the final stage now, and then we will be done. So let's put everything on the boot lid. Let's get it on the car. Let's kind of finally adjust the aerocatches, get the spoiler on, and then stand back and look at what has been accomplished. Yeah, let's do that. So we are done, finally. Well, we're not done because obviously I need to take the wing off and get it lacquered, clear coated, which I'm going to do this week coming. But it's not fully tightened up because of that, because what's the point? But yeah, for the video, we are done. So fitment wise, all looking pretty good, I think, and kind of finish and quality all kind of works. Everything's nicely spaced. And the aerocatches fit and look pretty decent. Yeah, all that is kind of good. And we've got our number plate lights. I will get a little bit of footage of the car out the garage because I need to clean it, because I've got someone coming tomorrow to kind of look at the cars and stuff, which should be fun. So I need to get it out shortly. So get some footage outside because it's like a cave in here as always, so you can't see anything. But yeah, I think we are looking pretty good. Kind of happier now with the fitment everywhere and stuff. Nothing really to say about the install. It was pretty straightforward. The most difficult thing was self-inflicted, which is the aerocatches. But other than that, yeah, not a lot to say. So thank you for watching. Apologies that it's taken so long to put this together, which you won't notice, but I certainly have. And yeah, on to the next video, whatever that might be. Could be engine mounts, could be something completely different. We will find out soon.